Token Metrics is a cryptocurrency investment platform that helps users leverage machine learning to become better crypto investors. Our in-depth analysis helps eliminate the emotions of investing, find profitable investment opportunities, and filters out scams. Learn more at tokenmetrics.com.
We are live. This is the Market Update. I'm your host, Bill Noble. If you need a roadmap in crypto and you need the best news and the best analysis out there, subscribe to this channel. Turn on the alerts bell so you know when we're going live. And of course, if you like the content, please give us a thumbs up. We got a lot to go through today. We have Luna news. We have how to trade the coming crash. Yes, a crash is coming. If you got wrecked or you are wrecked, you may get more wrecked unless you listen to the Token Metrics YouTube channel. I know that's kind of bold, but that's how I feel. And we've got some sort of a deluxe trivia session where we're going to take GAN numbers and compare it and use it to talk about movements around Bitcoin Pizza Day. So Luna, crash, pizza. Don't go anywhere. You're going to want to see this pizza. You're going to want to see the pizza charts. I promise that. All right, let's welcome who's on the stream. All right, we have Arkansas, Crypto Lion, right? You're welcome, Sarah. I'm on top of it. We've got Soil Soul, GF, right? Boston is here. Okay, London, Winter Park, Florida, Brazil, Greece, right? Good evening, everybody. Bull Runner 76, Andrew, hello from Pennsylvania. Thank you. Thank you for coming. Okay, Mark Lee says, little dip now. Rob Perkins says, oh no, red shirt. Yes, the red shirt is back. John Stewart needs a truck with a roadmap. Okay, I can help you with that. Peru is here, right? Tesla Energy in California. Welcome. Welcome to anybody listening from Tesla Energy. Ocean City, Texas. Welcome. Birmingham, UK, Denmark. Okay, Europe coming in. Welcome. Good evening. Switzerland is here. Southern California, Scotland. The Legend 313 loves the channel. We appreciate that. All right. Lee is here, and he is new to the stream from Florida. Lee, welcome. If you like it, tell your friends. Okay? Somebody says I make Mondays worth it. No, you make Mondays worth it because without you, we're talking to ourselves. Okay, Barbados is here. Cameroon. Okay, someone wants to talk Voyager and Luna Airdrop. All right, I have some news and information about the Luna Airdrop and about Luna in general, right? Basically, I'm going to tell you so you can look at what we're looking at and you can help make your own conclusions, okay? So Kenya is here along with Boston. And with that said, let's kick it. Let's get into your market update. Now, let's talk about Luna information. According to the block, Korean police are seeking to freeze Luna Foundation assets. Okay, so why does this matter? Well, when you have something like Luna, once upon a time, you had something like Enron. That was the last time I saw anything like this. That was probably 20 years ago. Okay, Enron was this big, giant energy company that was amazing. And then everybody found out that the accounting was all smoke and mirrors. Now, there is talk going around that Luna insiders had knowledge that this thing would eventually come unglued. I don't know how well-founded that talk is because it was public knowledge what the weaknesses of this system were. Okay? We are watching at Fatman Terra, at Fatman, Terra. Okay, this is like the new trending hot Luna information Twitter handle. Okay, where we're sort of deducing or at least bringing you some of the news from, so you can follow that person if you're inclined to want to delve deeper into Luna. Now, this is, a lot of very technical information coming from, like the Luna voting page. There's 2 pages of endless, complicated talk. All right. So I'm going to shut off the PowerPoint for just a second. Right. And then I'm going to sort of give you something you can work with, a framework. All right. So you came to the stream and you're like, what's the Luna airdrop? How do I get it? All right, here's what we can tell you. Actually, let me rephrase. Here's some information that may help you, okay? This is not investment advice. This is as of May 23rd. So ideally, anytime a new contract is implemented with a version 2, like you're forking the existing contract, they can do it a couple different ways. One, they can track all the existing wallet addresses that currently hold the token on the blockchain and send the new airdrop directly to the wallet address, assuming it's a personal wallet and not a wallet from an exchange. The second way, potentially, is to create a swapping mechanism where current holders of the token can go to swap their existing Luna token for potentially Luna V2. That would require holders to pay some sort of gas fee to do the swap. Now, since it's an airdrop, okay, they are most likely going to pay all the gas fees, they, I guess, meaning Luna, by sending the new token to all current holders. So this is a theoretical construct around how it would work, assuming it works. Again, not investment advice, just if you're looking for information, that is a succinct, nugget. So here's nugget number 2, right? So we did look at some of these numbers, and here is a preliminary take. This is informative for discussion. Do your own research, not investment advice, etc. It seems like Luna is trying to benefit the holders of Luna and Terra before the attack. Okay? It kept increasing what they are willing to pay out to the original investors in the beginning to make this deal. They started talking 10%, 15%, and now 30%. They want to try to fund the paying back of older holders that got wrecked off the back of new investors. This could be seen as, I don't know, not exactly kosher, okay? Luna will no longer be traded on Coinbase, according to our sources, on May 27th. So if this new Luna airdrop is some sort of, I don't know, attempt to pay older investors at the expense of newer investors, they may be digging themselves a deeper hole. Now, why did I just go through all that? Well, because if this is the type of news flow that's hitting the crypto market, it's negative for the entire space, because it looks like Luna and UST were obviously a problem. The solution to Luna and UST is obviously a problem. And now you have regulators, investigators, and talk of who knew this was going to happen and when. Okay. So we don't have exact details. The idea of a Luna airdrop, probably makes for interesting chit chat, but I think there's a bigger point. And the bigger point is all that kind of chit chat about a bad solution to an even worse problem hurts the ecosystem. It hurts it. And it's going to bring regulators, right? Like that emoji with the little eyeglass. It's going to bring the eye of regulators. Now let's go to the charts. Let me reshare the screen. Okay, so to state the obvious, total crypto market cap on a 2-week chart. So each bar is 2 weeks. Just turned over a new candle. Okay, 1.42 trillion was support. It's been broken. And the next support is 650 billion. So that's about a 50% drop from where it is now. And you're like, okay, Bill, that's crazy. Well, it's not, because you know what? Total crypto market cap was at 651 billion back in January of 2021. So we're just unwinding, the whole money printing Yahoo in crypto. Now, that sucks, but that is possible. And if you think you've lost money and you don't care, don't think that way. Don't. Because you can lose half of whatever is left, right? And then, of course, short sellers, right, are going to try to move in here. But we're going to talk more about the difficulty coming and how to deal with it. So we've got Singapore here at 4 in the morning. Okay, we appreciate that, right? We have SCON is here. Thank you. Okay, and, we have Mississippi here. I'm totally wrecked with Luna and UST. So with that said, anybody who got wrecked in crypto, our heart goes out to you. We do have an example from Token Metrics about how our AI and our website helped keep everyone out of trouble. Perhaps we'll go into that later in the show. All right. So total crypto market cap has room to go down. Now, how do we think it's going to go? Well, it looks like it could be similar to 2014, right? You could have a lot of choppiness between now and the end of the month, right? With a decline definitely starting right after the Memorial Day holiday in the US. Market loves to go down or make big moves on US holidays. I suspect Bitcoin could go as low as 14K, snap back to 28, and then go down into October. It's as simple as that. That's like the scenario, and that's the fractal, and that's how it worked in 2014, right? Huge down move followed by a monster squeeze, right? So things are going to get difficult. Like, this market's going to get so volatile, literally even bulls and bears could lose money. Now, let's talk the big picture. Ethereum has a DeMark 13 top, right? Has a DeMark 13 top on its monthly chart. What this means, this green 5 over here, means that you could have 4 more down months after May. So June, July, August, September, or Rectember, before this thing stops, right? That 13 signal means sell. I pounded the table in all of April, right? And the price action is making the point for me right now. Okay, Bitcoin versus Tether on Binance. Okay, so Bitcoin is now down 8 weeks in a row. That is usually a huge warning sign. That comes from our quant department and their research that they recall from how 1929 unfolded. I have been reading The Crash of 1929 by John Kenneth Galbraith, both audio and the written version. Now, you've probably heard this already. You've probably maybe seen it. And you may see people on YouTube telling you what you want to hear, that everything is all right. Now, I would love to tell you what you want to hear, right? But everything is not all right. Whoops. Everything is not all right. I mean, when 1929 happened, they were telling you everything was all right up until it wasn't. And afterwards, they told you everything was all right and that it didn't have consequences for the broader economy. Meanwhile, the economy was falling out of bed. Now, in this case, with Luna, it could be the Luna crash, right? That leads to a bigger crash inside the ecosystem. So it's easy to sit here and say, well, Luna doesn't matter and the ETH merge is coming. I don't think so. And anyone who's telling you that everything is all right, or, the market was manipulated to take down Luna. Luna was taken down by a big hedge fund, right? They just did a trade. I know people got destroyed. I know. But the good thing about crypto and the bad thing about crypto is that it's a free market. Now, that doesn't mean because a stable coin was involved that you're not going to see the Fed jumping in to regulate and really come down on crypto. And that's probably why crypto trades so badly. All right. So 8 down weeks in a row, You could be looking at 2021 where everyone's going to try to buy. And I shudder to think, where is it going to go if big hedge funds or people start getting liquidated, retail shows the bid, and then the institutions sell. Okay? So you can try to catch the falling knife. What I would do is wait for true despair, revulsion. I don't think we're there yet. We're in like a fear stage, but not the kind of fear they had in 1929. Okay, Ethereum is breaking out of a fib circle formation. What does that mean? Well, that means if Ethereum cracks, it could move to the next fib circle formation, which is 900. So can you imagine where small coins are if Ethereum just goes down 50%? Because if Bitcoin can go down 50%, so can ETH. Now, ETH may come back faster, right? And I know Shizzy L wants to cry, right? I know this is not fun, right? But this is why you come to this channel to listen to real analysts. Analysts, right? Because what you need in this world is analysts, not bloviators. Okay, Bitcoin on a 4-hour chart. More fun news. So the initial descent from 40,000 to like 26, that was wave 1. And then wave 2 was that little uptick from like 26 to 30, where you were bored to tears and it looked like nothing was going to happen. And then wave 3 kind of starts out of nowhere. Wave 3 is normally the biggest part of a trend. So if you went from 40 to 26, and then you went from 26 to 30, you could go from 30 to 14 very easily. Simple, DeMark-based Elliott wave, taking the subjectivity out of it. ETH on a 4-hour chart, you got a 9 bottom, right? And it went up. And then you got a 9 top, right at a big moving average from this like GAN band system that I developed. And then boom, ETH gets smacked. Now, I will tell you, we'll go to my Twitter in a minute, but if ETH hangs around 1940 and then starts to accelerate lower, then you're looking at a problem. Now, that said, I think a lot of people are going to want to sell this thing when it's down, right? You know, if you're like a short seller, I think you want to sell rallies, you know, and then you start, you know, unloading maybe after Memorial Day. I just think you have to be careful of squeezes. That's a hunch. Okay, here's another radical idea. With the ETH merge, right, and with Bitcoin being like the thing everyone owns, like Michael Saylor, I'm wondering if the whole idea, which no one is talking about, if ETH could flip Bitcoin on the way down. In other words, could Ethereum go to 1,000 and Bitcoin go, I don't know, below 10K or well below 10K? In other words, can ETH massively outperform Bitcoin? This is, no one's asking this question, because when I look at my Jesse Livermore accumulation cone, right? Jesse Livermore came from, he was a real person, featured in a famous trading book, Reminiscence of a Stock Operator. Now, one of the first TA books ever might have been Jesse Livermore's trading diary. Okay, in that diary, he created an accumulation cone where the market kind of goes back and forth in this upward sloping cone and then takes off. Wouldn't it be funny, right, if ETH started to outperform Bitcoin? In other words, Bitcoin, when it went down harder, faster, and longer than ETH did. Now, the argument against that is that everyone is hiding in ETH. So if everybody has to sell, they might unload on ETH. Then again, they might hold on to their ETH and unload on Bitcoin derivatives. Okay? So I'm just going to say it because no one else is saying it. Could ETH start the process of flipping Bitcoin in a down market? Now, people thought sell in May and go away and, you know, don't turn your back on the bear and watch for failed rallies, and don't feed the bear was crazy back in April. Now, this is probably one of the crazier things I can draw. But the fact of the matter is, this Livermore signal worked really well in a very similar looking formation. This is in a commodity market index called CRB. So I do have a modern example of the ancient technical analysis theory working. And it is really interesting that, I don't know, maybe long Ethereum, short Bitcoin is going to be a trade that the big players do. That may be why they're accumulating ETH. They're going to accumulate ETH and then unload on Bitcoin, keeping in mind that whole idea of the three wave in Bitcoin. Now, adding to the fun, and yes, I am trying to put some fun here, okay? All right. Somebody said lots of ETH being locked, a lot of selling coming. Okay. I don't doubt it. I don't doubt it. When you hide and you think you're safe, you're not. That's the counter argument to what I just gave you. When you hide and you think you're safe, you're not. I think a lot of people may think they're safe in Bitcoin too, and they are not. And I'm about to show you why. So, very famous day. You know, everybody in crypto goes out and gets a pizza on May 22nd to celebrate or commemorate the day where somebody used 10,000 Bitcoin to buy a pizza. Okay. And one of the things that happens in GAN work is that GAN like to use important dates. July 4th, Memorial Day, right? The year 1776, right? He liked to use commemorative dates in U.S. history to make certain decisions and do his sort of numerical and angle-based analysis, right? So GAN used to like multiples of 5, right? Anything like 5, 30, 45, 15, etc. You know, these numbers show up frequently all through GAN analysis. So for the hell of it, I took a look at Bitcoin Pizza Day. That's marked here in the white arrow. This is for 2021. And I thought it was interesting that within 60 days of Pizza Day, there was a huge volatile move, right? Bitcoin took off from 30 to 70. I'm like, that's interesting. That 60-day number, that's kind of even number. I wonder if anything like that repeats anywhere else in Bitcoin history. Well, wouldn't you know, in 2020, after Bitcoin Pizza Day, right, 60 days later, Bitcoin took off from 8,700 to 12K. I'm like, okay, I'll play. Then I go to 2019, right? And then it starts to get a shorter interval. So within 15 days of Bitcoin Pizza Day, 2019, that's the white arrow. Okay, Bitcoin went from 7K, a move started that led from 7K to 13K. So the point I'm trying to make is with Bitcoin Pizza Day, anywhere from 15 to 60 days in the future, tremendous volatility comes into Bitcoin. Now, how much volatility? Well, I don't know. I mean, in 2018, 15 days after this white arrow, right, you had a start of a decline where Bitcoin went from 7.6K to 5.5. You know, on a percentage basis, that's pretty big. Then 30 days after Pizza Day, Bitcoin actually bottomed and went from 5.5 to 8.5. And you're like, wait a minute, Bill, you're confusing me. Is it a bullish signal or a bearish signal? And what I'm telling you is it could be both, right? You can have enormous volatility, like all the way down or all the way back, right? Or down to 14K or up to 28, like that scenario we talked about earlier, right? Like down more than you think, massive squeeze, and then lower. There's evidence from the Bitcoin Pizza Day GAN hybrid analysis that suggests that Bitcoin Pizza Day marks the start of, unbelievable volatility, right? So in 2017, during the 60 days that followed Bitcoin Pizza Day, Bitcoin traded in a range between 1,700 and essentially 3,000, which is a huge range, right? You're going to be in a range. That's enormous. A lot of people probably lost money in that range. And of course, after 60 days, right, somewhere midsummer, Bitcoin just exploded. So pizza day within 60 days, within the 60-day period, it was volatile. And then after the 60-day period, in this case, there was a huge move. 2016. In 2016, there was a range between 440 and 750 within the 60 days that followed pizza day. Bitcoin pizza day started at 440. Bitcoin went to 750 and all the way back to 440 by the time it was over. That's a staggering volatility, right? Everybody FOMOs in, all the shorts get stopped out, and then it just collapses. 2015. Okay, within 15 days of pizza day, you had a move from 243 to 313. And then over the 90 days that followed pizza day, you had 243 to 313. And then you had 313 to 175 with a mega crash at the end of $100, which of course was half Bitcoin's value at the time. So pizza equals volatility. This was way up, way down. 2014 was similar, right? Within 15 days, you got a top, right? And within 75 days, you got a mega crash. So Gann numbers and Bitcoin pizza day are telling you that something huge is coming on the horizon. All right. So to drive the point home even more, okay, 2013, 15 days from pizza day started to move from 120 to 65. Kind of almost on a rope, right? Went down, went sideways a little bit, and then boom. It was kind of down only. 2012 was up only, right? 15 days after pizza day, green candles started to accelerate, right? And up it went from 5 to 14. Can you believe in 2011, there was a rocket move over the 15 days that followed pizza day? Bitcoin went from 7 to 13. 7 and wound up as high as 30 out 15 days. And then it turned around and fell apart and went to 5. Pizza day equals unbelievable volatility. Now, how would we get unbelievable volatility? Well, there's this. Mr. Poole says lockdowns are coming based on a CNBC story that says Belgium is going to become the first country to do mandatory monkeypox quarantine. Could you imagine? Crypto's falling apart because of Luna. Then everybody's going to start this, oh my God, the Fed can't hike rates. And then everybody's going to go, no, they're going to continue to hike rates. Can you imagine the level of intraday swings off a new pandemic, Fed tightening, and I don't know, can I use the word, the crypto ecosystem comes under increased regulatory scrutiny, and big players may be forced to liquidate. That was the key to 1929. Forced liquidation, like a giant margin call. Okay. Speaking of forced liquidation, here's S&P or SPY. This is plotted the current SPY, it's the S&P 500 ETF, is in white. And then blue is 2008. So if you just sort of look at the little fractal, you could see that, I don't know, maybe you got another up day, 1 or 2 up days. But headed into Memorial Day, you've got that famous adage, never go long into a long weekend. So stocks may be up, right? Every time they go up 2%, it's been a fake out. So, maybe stocks will be like, hey, there's a new pandemic and the market's not going to go down. And I would encourage them to think again. 39.81 in S&P futures is key resistance. So I guess if it's above that level, stocks are going to do the bad news is good news trade again. Okay. I think stocks will do or say or think anything to avoid thinking about more downside, right? The market internally has fallen apart with tech stocks and the altcoins of the stock market getting destroyed. Driftless Crypto says, right? I am reloading for the next stonks short. Okay. You know, J Mart says this is quality content and we appreciate you. Okay. Now, Shreko Hovart says that could make a post pizza day mega rally. Okay. So let's talk about that. If you have a post pizza day mega rally, what would that look like? All right. So let's just take a look at where the market is while we're watching this. So Bitcoin's down 3%. This is May 23rd at 4 p.m. Central Time. So as you can see, no one's having any fun in Bitcoin today. Now, if there was a mega rally, I think there could be a mega rally after a mega decline. Or you could be looking at the type of price action you've had in equities, where you get forced selling that crushes the market. And then as soon as the forced selling stops, it just kind of levitates back up. So it may be more of an intraday phenomenon. It may be. Or it's all the way down, like massively down and massively up. But, and like our friend said who commented, got to watch out for monkeypox. So if you thought this was complicated before, it's more complicated now. Okay. So, okay. Interestingly, Bitcoin is down 3% and ETH is only down 2%. That's sort of interesting given this whole idea of the flippening, which maybe people will be talking about it today, but you know, hopefully I get to talk about it first. All right. The bottom line is I think you need to protect yourself on any rally. So today may be down, and who knows, maybe, ETH's going to go to 1940 and snap, or you're going to get this price action where it goes down and then it pops back up again. Okay, let's take a look at the DeMark work. Okay, some quality humor going on in the comments about monkeypox. I appreciate that. Okay. All right. So on the 4-hour chart, nothing is happening in Bitcoin. Let's go to the 90-minute chart and just see what we're looking at. Jared says, I love you, Bill, but pizza day hurt my head. All right. That's good feedback. The point of pizza day is we're entering a highly volatile period. You're going to see unbelievable volatility, I think, like staggering stuff, like down 20%, up 10, up 15, down 30 in like, weeks or days. Okay. Here's the 90-minute chart of Bitcoin. Okay. Support was at 29,500. So you probably got, I don't know, a little bit more downside today. Okay. Okay. DXY. All right. DXY is worth looking at. Let's take a look at DXY, because there's a lot of talk that the U.S. economy is falling out of bed, right? And that, the dollar isn't holding support. And I can't argue that. So the people who were like, yeah, let's sell the dollar, it looks like they were right. Right? So support is at 101. I said 103.10. Okay, bro. So that was probably a little bit too arrogant. So 101 is support in the dollar, right? Everyone's going to dump the dollar if the Fed can't raise rates because of a new pandemic. That would be my guess. That's why I think between now and Labor Day, you got to be careful about being short, or at least be careful. Let me rephrase that. Between now and Memorial Day, you got to be careful about selling the market when it's down 4 or 5%, because you're going to start getting these like intraday squeezes, or these like, down 5%, up 5% type of thing. Okay. Palm Tree is here. Welcome. Okay. Okay, let's take a look at Phantom. A lot of people asking me about this. People are like, well, what should I do with my Phantom? And I said, well, if you're asking me that question, then you already know the answer. In other words, if something that went from $1 to 30 cents goes from 30 cents to 50 cents, perhaps it's time to get out. But maybe not. If Phantom is above 47 cents, it could go to 55. So for anyone who's looking at Phantom, you know, that's kind of how I would draw it. Let me try one more thing. Okay, so maybe it's 46 cents and 53 cents. So in a great scenario, Phantom gets to 53 cents. You know, my view is that we're headed for some sort of 1929 event. Now, what you need to know is there's pizza day work that hints at very high volatility, which means it's going to be very hard to trade. If you get a big move like that, it's going to be hard to trade. So not selling weakness, as tempting as it is, and selling rallies, whatever they are, may be the best strategy. Okay? It's tempting to go, okay, let's jump on it. Between now and Memorial Day, my fingers crossed strategy is to not be a greedy short, right? This is not included in my 10 steps to a crash. But I do think if you're a greedy short, you may wind up getting stopped out between now and when you want to be short, which is probably on June 1. Okay? If you were breaking even on DOT, would you sell and buy back later? Okay, let's take a look at DOT. Okay, so this is the monthly chart of Polkadot. So, I don't know. Polkadot has support at 4.5. So, would you dump it at 10 and bet that you can get it at 4.5? That's a tough question. That's a tough question. And I'll tell you why. In Polkadot, like one of the things I think people have forgotten about is that Polkadot in 2021, when we were trying to get everyone's attention on the idea of Web3, we were pitching Polkadot as a solution. Now, let me go over here to my layer 1 tab. The short answer to your question is, I don't know that that's the strategy that I would pursue, right? If you're breaking even on Polkadot and you don't want to hold it, then don't hold it. But if you want to try to hold Polkadot, it may pay to be long Polkadot and short something else. It's a nice way of saying, you know what, believe it or not, I don't want to pick on Polkadot. I may regret to say that, but Polkadot may be the Web3 trade in disguise. So could Near. So this is the Polkadot daily chart. Nothing really happening here other than support at 938. Okay, this is Polkadot weekly, which indicates 2 more down weeks are possible. So if you don't want to put up with any more Polkadot downside, I understand that. 2 weeks is a long time to hold on. Okay, let's go to the Avalanche 4-hour chart. Okay, so nothing is happening here. This was a bull trap up here, and who knows, this could be a bear trap down here. The market has been doing this, and just so you know, this type of behavior where the market is very rangy, like See how the market trapped a whole bunch of shorts here and stopped them all out, and then everybody got long and then they dropped it? This behavior can breed itself. This type of behavior can continue until something changes it, until there's an event, which I think happens June 1. The trick in the meantime is to not get so chopped up that you don't have capital when the time comes. So in Solana, there's support at 49. Okay, obviously this candle where it goes from 54 to 49 looks terrible. And this could fall apart. It could be like, 7 or 8 more. You could have like 3 days of a beatdown in Solana. So you have to be careful if 49 doesn't hold. Okay. Let's take a look at Cosmos. Okay, so Cosmos is trying to get above a moving average that comes in right around 1144. So it's pretty simple. If this is a false breakout, then Cosmos is in trouble. If Cosmos came back and retested this average, then it might be okay, right? Like when I look at some of these 4-hour charts, like when I looked at Solana and Cosmos, they're a little concerning, right? They're a little concerning. Okay, here's near, which I think looks a lot better. Again, this is an incredibly tight range, and there's support at 577. So, there's potential for this to go lower, but I don't think I would get bearish until I saw it below support. Okay. Okay, so FTX. So this is a good thing to bring up. Okay, all these 4-hour charts are going to look the same. So let's look at the daily chart. Okay, so here you have the 13 bottom, and you have no material follow through, like none. So this brings me to another point that someone in this market is caught. Someone is caught, right? Somebody is going to have to do massive liquidating. And one of the things that we're looking at is, how do you find the bottom? This is a question, right? In other words, is it going to go up? Is it going to go down? When's it going to stop going down, right? So if you look at this green line, that's altcoin market cap. This is from the Token Metrics market page. It's new. Altcoin market cap, 778 billion. Bitcoin market cap, 579. So as you can see, you look at the green line, really altcoin market cap is always above that of Bitcoin. I kind of wonder what happens if total altcoin market cap actually meets the market cap of Bitcoin. In other words, the lines have never come together. And I wonder if that's what it takes to make a bottom, which basically means ETH is like the sole survivor, right? If Bitcoin gets destroyed, ETH holds up and everything else gets hammered. It's a possibility. It's something to consider. Okay. Okay. XMR, Zcash, and Dash. Okay. Here's another announcement. It's kind of weird, but when this is over, what do you want to buy? Like, can you imagine this thing going down? Like, I don't know, like big crash starts on Memorial Day, 1929 style event, pandemic, war, all kinds of awful stuff happens. If the whole market gets destroyed, what do you want to buy? You know what I want to buy? I want to buy the future of money. I know that I talked about this and it's gone down like everything else, but if you gave me Dash at 20, I'd do Dash at 20. Okay, this is Dash Daily. Obviously, we're looking at a failed rally today. It's trying to come off the 13 bottom, but I don't know. You got to be careful of failed rallies, right? Litecoin, which, everyone's going to give up on. Okay, Litecoin can't get back above 70, right? Today's a failed rally. So we're going to see, green candles haven't meant anything. There's been no follow through in either direction. That may be the case until the holiday, right? So with these markets, the pizza day analogy is a way of warning you about really intense volatility. So yes, you need to be aware of failed rallies. Okay, you also have to be aware of failed declines, because being a short seller gets more difficult as it becomes more and more obvious that the market could go lower. Okay, let's see where the market is right now. Okay, so ETH is down 2% and Bitcoin's down 3% as of now. Okay, now let's take a look, because I do think 89-minute charts will provide value. So not going to drone on and on here. Okay, so in near, the point that I'd be looking at is like 582. If near is below 582, you got serious problems. All right. Let's take a look at Zcash, because someone was asking about Zcash and Monero. Okay, so nothing is really going on in Zcash except a range trade. Okay. So 104 is resistance in Zcash. This is Zcash 89-minute. I actually think you can get a lot out of looking at these small charts, these small time frame charts. Okay. If Zcash falls below 92, the downside target is 67. But if Zcash doesn't, if Zcash finds support at 92, then you just have more of this. In other words, here's an idea. This is a word I haven't used before. What about capital preservation? Capital preservation. In other words, until this thing breaks out one way or the other, selling weakness and buying strength may not pay off. It may not. Now, I may regret saying that, but massive volatility is coming. Like massive. And if you don't think you can manage it, be careful. All right. And if you don't think your portfolio can drop any more than it has, you best be careful headed after Memorial Day. But I'm not going to pound the table on that anymore, because it upsets people. Okay. 867 is a level of interest in ICP. So you may get one more down day, but this failed rally kind of speaks for itself. Okay, so somebody wants the full roadmap of Avalanche. So if you look at Avalanche on a 4-hour chart, nothing is happening. Okay, if we look at Avalanche on a daily chart, okay, nothing good is happening. In other words, you got a 13 bottom and there's been no rally. Now, if there's a monster squeeze, you could get you could see 38. Okay, and let's go to our intraday work here and see what we got. Okay, so okay, so on the 89-minute chart of Avalanche, the key level to watch is 31. Okay, so if Avalanche is below 31, there's downside risk. Okay, If Avalanche is below 29, there's more downside risk. Okay, support is at 25. So if I had a guess, don't doubt that this couldn't go all the way down to 25 and then all the way back before the next big move unfolded. That's how I would do the Avalanche roadmap. Okay, you're welcome for ICP. Okay, flow. Okay, so I'll get flow going over here. Okay, so all these cryptos are the same on the daily. There's a 13 bottom and a 9 bottom and absolutely no follow through. Like if flow can't get through 295, you can see that when it gets to this moving average, everybody's selling. Everybody's selling. And that's because the whole ecosystem is coming under pressure over Luna, right? That I'm guessing that's why this thing trades so badly. Okay, in KDA, the big point is still at 245. Actually, it's 250. Okay. So you don't have to be despondent if KDA is holding 250. If KDA is not holding 250, then you're probably looking at 223. My guess is every time these things go down, everyone sells. I get it. One day that's going to work, and I don't know if that day is today, right? I think if you're long this stuff and you say, all right, it went all the way down and it came all the way back, I'm going to reevaluate. So sell rallies, like, you know, when this thing goes all the way down and all the way back, that's the rally to think about getting out. Okay. VeChain. Okay, let's take a look at VeChain. This is VeChain 89-minute chart. And as you can see, again, not a lot happening. Okay, the range is so tight, I almost can't draw anything. I got to go back to DeMark. Okay, so like everything else, VeChain gets killed, and now it's trying to come back. It's just trying to come back, right? So, you know, like so many of these other instruments, you know, VeChain may wind up making a new low, but I don't know if they're going to do that trade today. Right? You have to be careful and say to yourself, all right, what's the worst case scenario? And the answer to that is worse than you think. Worse than you think. So please protect yourself. Please. Okay, let's look at XRP and Cardano. Okay, so XRP, 13 bottom, can't rally. Okay, XRP weekly probably got 2 more down weeks. The good news is 41 cents is holding its support. If 41 cents does not hold its support in XRP, you got a problem. So you may have this week and next week as a down week. I think the problem with XRP is that Luna is going to bring regulators down hard on the space. And they may start with XRP. Now, I know, you know, big YouTubers got the big XRP army shirts on, right? Saying good things about XRP is a way to be popular. I would rather tell you 41 cents has got to hold this support, right? It would be miraculous for these guys if XRP became not the problem child of the crypto space. If you're long XRP, that's what you're betting on. that they're going to let XRP off the hook and go after the Luna debacle or any insider trading that may have occurred, insider trading or fraud or whatever they decide to call it. Okay, Cardano is trying to get above moving average support at 54 cents. Again, all these technical points I find, all you see when it goes up is somebody selling, right? This is what you see. Cardano has got support at 49 cents. So it's a lot like XRP. You don't want it to see go any lower. If it breaks support, it's really going to break down. But it's above support, so don't sell support at the moment for those two coins. Okay, synthetics. Okay, so what to make of these ranges? What to make of these things where, I don't know, it just doesn't move, right? 272 is one level in synthetics. So I don't think you want to see a daily close below that level. Okay. The worst case scenario right now, between now and Memorial Day, is 217. After Memorial Day, all bets are off. All bets are off. Okay, that's synthetic. Okay, someone's asking about perp. Perp at 1. Let's take a look at perp on DeMark. So unbelievable. Okay, so perp did a 13 bottom, right? This token has been totally destroyed, right? I mean, if this is not the biggest give up trade I've seen this year, like, it's incredible. You know, I really like this idea of the decentralized derivatives exchange, but just, you know, people just gave up here. Yeah, that could mean a value investing opportunity, but you know, we've said that before in perp, and it has not worked out. Audius. Okay, so Audius is okay if it's above 44. Kind of interesting that there's a 13 bottom here, and it's trying to stay green. Now, that's interesting that, you know, a lot of these, some of these destroyed tokens, right? Somebody's saying rest in peace. Possibly, right? Alpha. I'll never live down. Okay, a 9 bottom, and it can't rally through these moving averages, right? I mean, the way I would describe a lot of this market is it's like broken. It's like broken. Okay, K3PR. Sorry, KP. Someone's asking for APE. So while, okay, so here's KP3. Let's do something bold and go to a 90-minute chart on this one. Okay. So everybody's selling on rallies. Selling, 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 right? Every rally in these small coins is getting sold. A link on a 90-minute chart. Okay, in Chainlink, there's support at 721. The range between now and Memorial Day may wind up being 770 to 721. If you look at this 90-day chart, Chainlink hasn't done anything. Everybody's looking for a trend, and all they get's a range. And this happens vice versa, right? Everybody's looking for a range. That's when you get a trend. When everyone's looking for a trend, you get a range, right? So everyone's trying to catch a big move, and this 90-minute chart of Chainlink, all they're doing is getting stopped out, right? Okay, let's finish up with Matic. Okay, so someone's asking me, after Memorial Day, all bets are off. Do you mean there come a reversal or just a bigger move than this chop we're seeing right now? No, I think there's going to be a major decline starting after Memorial Day, right? I think it'll start Memorial Day or, late that night. I've seen that, right? And then something epic will happen starting into consensus. I remember in 2021, the Bitcoin top was relatively close to the Bitcoin 2021 conference, which was the first crypto event since COVID restrictions were lifted. Consensus this year will be in Austin, Texas on June 7th, right? I would not doubt that they start a big down move. I don't know why they do it that way, but they do. So Matic has support at 66 cents. Honestly, there's no read on these small coins other than the fact that they just can't rally, right? There's the 13 bottom. There's the 9 bottom. There's no bid. There's no bid. That's why I'm telling people, because I'm thinking about what that guy said about Polkadot. Let's pull up Polkadot on the daily chart. Now, the guy that was break even on Polkadot, this is like advanced crypto Q&A. He's break even on Polkadot. And I think if Polkadot's above 1030, you maybe can give it a chance. But if this is like everything else and it can't rally, God, what a contrarian masterpiece it would be if Web3 wasn't what everyone thought it was. It was what it was originally intended to be, which is this interoperability theme. I don't want to get smoked and I don't want to regret saying this, but it's tough to be bearish Polkadot at 10. It's tough. Okay. All right. So I want to go into wrap up phase. All right. So I know I hit y'all with some complicated stuff. So let's talk a summary. This whole idea of a Luna airdrop and the news flow around Luna is probably not helping Luna holders, and it's definitely not helping the crypto market. It's not. The more these guys talk, the more risk there seems to be on the downside. Honestly. Because all they do is kind of dig a deeper hole. Now, when it comes to crypto's got to get it together this week. So does equities. Or you're looking at major risk at the end of the month. Risk as in a major down move. Now, the Bitcoin pizza work, which may have been mind-boggling, tells you this. Bitcoin pizza day is May 22nd. Historically, between 15 and 60 days after pizza day, you get huge volatility in the market. Up and down. And you're like, Bill, which one comes first? I'm working on it. My guess is down, then up. What I would like you to do is, if you're a trader and you're doing the long and short and you're going back and forth, reduce your position size so that if there is some sort of dramatic move, you don't get killed. Reduce your position size as a trader. For the next, say, 6 days, don't chase down moves and don't chase up moves, because the market is in a range, and all is happening here is that people are just stopping themselves out. Finally, for anyone who wants to hold on, who wants to hodl, and thinks that they're going to be able to hodl even if the market goes down a lot, please think about what you're going to feel like if your portfolio falls another 50%. Now, I know that's not a fun topic. It's a lot more popular to tell you everything is going to be all right. I would rather tell you that everything is going to be all right if you are vigilant and wise now with both position sizing for traders and being honest with yourself about the small coins that you hold. Don't get wiped out. Okay? Don't get wiped out. All right? So that's it for today, folks. Stay strong and stay here. I kind of like that. Stay strong and stay here. This is Bill Noble from Token Metrics. I will see you tomorrow